I don't have that stupid Obamacare. I'm covered by the Affordable Care Act.
The Affordable Care Act is Obamacare, genius.
There's an unemployed Trump voter who said they voted for Trump because he promised to kill Obamacare, but says he hopes Trump keeps his hands off the Affordable Care Act, which he relies upon. Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. Here's what this guy wrote online. He wrote the following, quote, I just voted for him because he's going to kill Obamacare. I am unemployed and Obamacare effing sucks. I'd rather just have the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, by itself instead of this communism shit. And then someone responded to him by saying, Obamacare is the ACA. It is literally keeping you alive. You voted to take away your health care. And then the original poster wrote back, quote, why the F do people have two different names for it? Obama equals bad and affordable equals good. I effing hate Democrats. Well, if you remember, it was the Republicans who branded it as Obamacare originally to try to scare people like you. Maybe your hate should be directed at those trying to take away your health care and not the people who are trying to actually save your life. How about that?
Hello everyone, welcome back to Global Views with Josh. Today's story is one of those moments where reality taps someone on the shoulder and says, hey, remember that thing you've been cheering against for years? And the response is, wait, that's the same thing? Because right now across parts of the country, some very loud voices in MAGA circles are furious after discovering that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are not two different things. Yes, the ACA, Obamacare, same law, same policy, same coverage, same protections. And the shock is hitting hardest as insurance premiums spike and people realize the policy framework they spent years and decades trying to dismantle is the very thing keeping them insured. So let us talk about it.
I don't want to repeal everything.
We want to start over, as we've said.
Repeal Obamacare. We need to act on this while the Senate's debating the reconciliation package.
We're going to repeal this bill when we win back a conservative majority in the House.
Commit to try to repeal this thing over the next year or two.
Repeal and replace.
I want to make sure this health care bill never, ever, ever is implemented.
His health care law, my guess is he's not going to agree with us, and we're not going to agree with him on that. And that one might just go to the next election.
You say we're going to get rid of this, and then at some point we'll deal with it.
Listen, I've already outlined. We believe there's a better way.
What specifically are you going to do to provide universal coverage to the 30 million people who are uninsured? That is not the issue.
The House has already voted some 30 times to repeal or defund this law. What's one more?
And we're going to do it one more time.
I say we're going to replace Obamacare, and I'm replacing it with my own plan.
Obamacare is the law of the land. Listen, our goal here is not to shut down the government. Our goal is to cut spending and to stop Obamacare.
We need to pass a one-year delay.
I intend to speak in support of defunding Obamacare until I am no longer able to stand.
It's important for us as a party, especially in an election year, to tell people what you're for. We're for getting rid of Obamacare and replacing it. That's why our members will offer an alternative when it comes to Obamacare.
I'm working on a proposal. A lot of us are working on proposals on what would we replace Obamacare with.
The discussions about Obamacare and what the replacement bill will look like continue. At some point next year, we'll move to repeal Obamacare.
What's the Republican health care plan?
We're working on this.
If we had the ability to do it, we ought to pull it out root and branch and start over.
There will be an alternative, and you'll get to see it.
Say anything about what that might look like?
When I'm done writing it, I'll let you know. Hopefully by March 4 is when oral arguments occur. We'll have something out by then.
Is there a Republican replacement for that?
Our committees are continuing to work on that, and I'm sure we're going to see one soon.
Will you commit to the House having some kind of vote this year on a Republican alternative to the law?
I'm not sure that, we'll see.
Repeal and replace was something terrific. Obamacare is going to be repealed and replaced.
Next year, we will unveil a plan to replace every single word of Obamacare.
What do we replace it with? So we have to show you. We owe you.
If we don't repeal and replace Obamacare, we will destroy American health care forever.
Real change begins with immediately
repealing and replacing Obamacare. We're not going to have like a 2-day period, and we're not going to have a 2-year period where there's nothing. It will be repealed and replaced.
Some experts say that it could take years to actually complete the process.
It's a huge mistake for Republicans if they do not vote for replacement on the same day as we vote for repeal.
There's not going to be any changes in 2017. There's not going to be changes in 2018.
There will be a stable transition period.
It would be ideal if we could do it all in one big action.
We will be replacing it rapidly after repealing it.
So can you give me a sense of what rapidly means? Are we talking
very quickly?
It is our goal to bring it all together concurrently.
It will be essentially simultaneously.
We're not holding hard deadlines.
Will most likely be on the same day or the same week, but probably the same day. Could be the same hour.
We plan to take on the replace challenge in manageable pieces.
We want to do this at the same time, and in some cases, the same bill. So we are in complete sync.
There are a whole lot of different ideas about how to replace Obamacare.
On behalf of the American people who are struggling under this law that is collapsing, we have to act.
And I told the Republicans, I said, look, if you really want to do something, just let it explode. And then they'll come begging us to fix it, okay? Begging.
So apparently millions of people, millions of Republicans are on Obamacare. They get their insurance through the marketplace. And I don't know what kind of poll they did. CNN just released a press release today that millions of Republicans on Obamacare want the subsidies extended. These are the same Republicans who have bashed Obamacare since day one, ever since falling for Donald Trump's lie that Obama wasn't born in the United States. Like, if it's anything that's created by somebody with the D next to their name, they just shit on it and shit on it. And now they got their wish. Donald Trump said he was going to implode Obamacare and replace it. Their wish is coming true, and now all of a sudden millions of them are screaming, no, wait, we want to keep it because we don't want our insurance premiums to go up January 1st. Nothing more needs to be said.
All of these Trump voters admitting that they didn't realize that Obamacare was the Affordable Care Act when they vehemently hated Obamacare is one of the most openly racist things I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't understand how they don't have the critical thinking and the thought process to just know not to say that out loud because of just how simply racist it is that they were so against Obamacare just because they associated it with Obama, which was the point. That's why Republicans coined Obamacare, so that racist people would hate it without understanding what it was. And that's exactly what they're admitting happened by saying they hated Obamacare and they thought Trump was going to get rid of Obamacare, but they have the Affordable Care Act and they didn't realize they were the same thing. I wish they could, I don't wish that they would keep it in, but it's insane to me that they don't have the maybe 2 or 3 step thought process that tells them don't share that out loud because you are self-exposing that you are super racist.
The great ACA identity crisis. Now, for decades, Obamacare was treated like a 4-letter word in conservative political spaces. It was portrayed as socialism, government handouts, government takeover, and the end of American freedom as we know it. Meanwhile, the Affordable Care Act polled significantly more favorable. Why? Because when you remove the political branding and just describe the benefits, protections for pre-existing conditions, coverage for young adults, underparent plans, subsidies for lower income households, people actually like it. In fact, surveys over the years showed many respondents supported the ACA while opposing Obamacare. Now, that's like loving fries but hating potatoes. Now, fast forward to today, in some regions, premiums have surged due to a mix of factors. Reduced federal subsidy expansions, insurers exiting markets, rising healthcare costs, state-level policy decisions, inflation, and provider pricing pressure. And suddenly, households that rely on ACA marketplaces are seeing higher monthly bills. But here's the twist. Many of the same political leaders who campaigned on dismantling the ACA also supported policies that weakened its subsidy structure and market stability. So when premiums rise, the anger isn't aimed at policy changes. It's aimed at the very system that still providing coverage. Now that's like removing the legs from a table and blaming the floor when dinner fails. Now, social media has, of course, been filled with viral clips and posts showing confusion and frustration. Why is my ACA premium so high? I thought we got rid of Obamacare. Why is my insurance tied to this law? Because, and this is the part nobody puts in campaign slogans, the ACA is deeply woven into the US healthcare system. Over 40 million Americans rely on ACA marketplace coverage. Medicaid expansion under the ACA covers millions more. Protection for pre-existing conditions affect nearly everyone. Repealing it outright would mean ripping coverage away from tens of millions overnight, which is why, despite years of repeal promises, replacement plans never materialized. Healthcare is complicated, campaign chants are not. Now, here's where the sarcasm writes itself. For years, voters were told the ACA was destroying healthcare. Now, many depend on it. Premiums rise, partly due to policy choices, weakening support structures, and suddenly the same system is expected to save them. It's a political version of unplugging your Wi-Fi, complaining about no internet, blaming the router, then demanding faster speed. Policy outcomes don't care about slogans. They care about maths, markets, and legislation. Now, let's step back from the political theater for a moment. Talk about the real drivers behind rising premiums. Premium increases are influenced by one, healthcare cost rising nationwide. Hospital services, pharmaceuticals, and specialist care continue to climb. Two, being the subsidy expansions expiring. Pandemic era enhancements helped reduce premiums. Their rollback is now being felt. And three, risk pool changes. When healthy individuals exit markets, insurers raise rates to cover higher risk enrollers, or rather enrollees. So, four is the insurer competition. Fewer insurers in certain states means less price competition. None of these fits neatly on a bumper sticker, but it explains reality far better than political branding wars. So this moment reflects a broader trend in modern politics. Voters are increasingly experiencing the real-world effects of policy choices they were told would fix everything. Tariffs raised prices, cuts reduced services, subsidy changes affect premiums, and healthcare, arguably the most personal policy area, makes those consequences impossible to ignore. This isn't about left versus right. It's about what happens when governance meets reality. Why the ACA still matters. Despite its imperfection, the ACA ended denial of coverage for pre-existing conditions, allowed young adults to stay on family plans until 26, expanded Medicaid access, capped out of pocket costs, provided subsidies for millions. So without it, many Americans would be insecure or bankrupt from medical debt. And here's the irony. Even many critics support keeping its most popular provisions, because once policy moves from ideology to lived experience, priorities change fast. So what are the bigger lessons? The current outrage highlights something bigger than healthcare. Political branding can shape opinions, but reality shapes lives. when policies become personal, your premiums, your prescriptions, your hotel, your hospital bills, the talking points start mattering. What matter is whether you stop, or even whether you can afford care, and that's a conversation America is still struggling to have honestly. So now the question isn't whether Obamacare and the ACA are the same thing. Of course they are. The real question is what happens when political narratives collide with real life consequences? Because when premiums rise and coverage matters, slogans fade and reality sends the invoice. So what do you think? Have you noticed confusion between Obamacare and the ACA in your community? Should healthcare policy be separated from political branding? Who is really responsible for rising premiums, and what reforms would actually lower costs? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. This is Global Views with Josh, where we'll cut through the noise and follow the facts. I'll see you guys on the next one. Credit belongs to original creators.